From WPTV News Channel 5, it's Slay Your Day with TA.
Hey, it's TA, and I'm here with Vanessa Moss from the Palm Healthcare Foundation. And, Vanessa, it occurred to me that normally I wouldn't talk to you for any story whatsoever because I do the fun and interesting things in town, and you take care of people's health, basically, right? But I think that for a lot of us, we're having trouble having fun because financial pressure, depression, all the job pressures from working from home. And to get to having fun again, we've got to really train the brain, and that's sort of your initiative, right?
That's absolutely right, TA. So we at Palm Health Foundation, we're a fundraising and grant-making foundation that exists to improve health in Palm Beach County. And annually, we present our Train the Brain campaign throughout the month of October. And the whole point of Train the Brain is just to help people understand that taking care of your brain is just as important as taking care of your body. So just how we exercise and take care of our physical health, we've got to do things every day for our brain health. And particularly during the pandemic and the state of our world right now, folks are experiencing all types of anxiety and stress, and so it's more important than ever to do things every day to take care of our brains.
Yeah, so let's talk about some of the challenges due to COVID-19. You have things like racial injustice. You have the election that probably has a lot of people worried. You have just, living in close quarters with people that you love, but, you're just on top of each other. You have can't
Right.
go into your favorite things, places, and doing the things you want to do the way you were used to doing it. And all that kind of adds up, and you really got to talk about it, right?
It totally does. And, in addition to that, the fires that have been happening. And I know for me personally, I have friends that, they don't have jobs where they can just drive away and stay with friends and family right now. So there are so many things happening in our world that is causing tons of stress. And, particularly with job loss, we have folks who are wondering, what's my identity now? I don't have my job. What am I supposed to do now? And I know for me personally, and I know a lot of folks can relate to this, being a parent who has children in school and who are virtually learning. My kids are downstairs right now in class as we speak. And so it's, always having in the back of your mind that you need to monitor them and check on them. So we're juggling so many things at once. And I think it's important to recognize that it's okay not to be okay. And to admit that and say, hey, I'm overwhelmed. I might be super mom, super dad, whatever, but I'm having a hard time right now. And remembering that we need to still lean into our supports and remain social as we can, because social interaction is so essential to our brain health.
Sure.
And having that time to talk with friends and family, talk about what we're struggling with, relate to each other, and then talk about things that aren't pandemic related, right? Like, let's just have normal conversation where we can laugh, and we're not talking about politics, and we're not talking about what we saw in the news. We're just hanging out, and it looks different now in pandemic. Maybe it's outside and we're 6 feet apart on a picnic blanket, but we still need to find those ways to have FaceTime with our friends and family.
Yeah, I just know for me personally, like this week I took a day off because I had a panic attack, and I felt ridiculous because I knew what was happening. I knew that I couldn't stop it, and I actually had to call in sick to work with a panic attack. But, it was a real feeling, and having to understand that to make yourself better is part of the process.
Absolutely. And it's not ridiculous, at all to have a panic attack. And I think it's important and some of the big work we're doing at Palm Health Foundation and our brain health initiative and through Train the Brain is destigmatizing us talking about this stuff, right? We all have anxiety. We all have stress. And now more than ever, it's bubbling to the surface for those of us who might have been able to manage it in our daily lives. Now it's like, whoa, this is too much. And so, it's not ridiculous for us to say, I'm having a hard time. I'm having a panic attack. I need a moment. I need a mental health day, and I need to do something to take care of myself. And so we're hoping that through this messaging and through this work with Train the Brain, that employers and employees alike, can say, hey, okay, we need to make sure we're here for our employees and make sure that they can do what they need to do for their brain health.
Yeah, it was really comforting, and it kind of took the stress down a notch when I told my manager, and she said, take care of you, see you tomorrow. And that was so relieving. So I do encourage employers to do that as well. But do you have some general brain health tips that you want to share?
Absolutely. So, there are things that we can do every single day, and there are things that we kind of know in the back of our minds, but we need to be more intentional about. So, a lot of us are spending more time than ever in front of the computer screen because our meetings are all via Zoom or whatever. So we need to establish a routine in our daily lives, right? So take a moment every day to get up from your screen, multiple times a day even. Go outside, be in nature, enjoy the fresh air, take a little walk. I have a coworker who goes for a run every day on his lunch break, so make sure that you're carving out that time. You also need to make sure that, it's easy to lean into those junk food and junk drinks to make yourself feel better when you're feeling depressed or anxious. But your body and your brain needs proper nutrition to function properly. So it's the things we know about sleeping at least 8 hours, eating well, and again, that social interaction that we need to make sure our brains are healthy.
Yeah, I think you tapped around it a little bit too, but there's also, I think more people are consuming more alcohol, and that's probably something that people need to be aware of and maybe try and reduce their intake.
Absolutely. I mean, when you're home every day, you're like, okay, when's happy hour? Can we speed it up a little? Especially, I know I've had my wine earlier than I usually do with the kids at home all day. Sure. But we do have to be mindful of what we're putting into our bodies, and just being aware of it and making sure that we're doing what's healthiest for our brains. Because like I said, just how our brains need nutrition or our bodies need nutrition and sleep and exercise, our brains need those things too to function properly. And I've heard people speak about brain fog because of the fact that we're constantly on screens. Mm-hmm. So I think taking those screen breaks are so important too. Just getting away from your screen, closing your laptop and stretching your body, walking outside, doing something away from the screen.
Even just like taking your lunch break and having your lunch on the beach we live in paradise. Come on, let's try it that way.
Yes, and there's so many socially distanced things you can still do. This week I paddleboarded with a good friend, and we never got within 6 feet, so you can still be safe and enjoy this paradise we live in. Absolutely right.
And do you have any resources you want to share for people that might be struggling a little bit?
Yes, so please go to trainthebrainpbc.org. That's our campaign website. And so the biggest resource we have is this beautiful calendar of events. They're all free, they're virtual, and they're open to the public. We've got workshops that are geared around meditation and mindfulness and stress reduction. I mentioned senses of identity and job loss earlier. We have a workshop that's devoted specifically to that. People who have lost their jobs and are now working through what their identity is. We have things for parents. We have story times for kids. We have even a workshop that I'm excited to go to, which is self-image in this new Zoom world. We're on screens all the time, and I hear women constantly, mostly women, but I'm sure many men feel this way too. Sorry about how I look right now, on the camera, apologizing for their appearance, and we don't maybe have the time to put our makeup on. I mean, I put my makeup on today for this, but it was the first time in months. So, I'm really excited about that workshop to kind of talk, and a lot of it's just being in community, and our grantees and our partners at Palm Health Foundation have created this wonderful community where we can come together and we can learn together and we can build resilience and we can self-care.
And I'm not sure if you guys have something for first responders, but something I learned today is the Murakami Museum is offering free kind of therapy sessions around their museums for first responders, for anybody, in the healthcare system, or anybody who just has anxiety that needs to go relieved. So our community is really trying to take care of one another, don't you think?
Absolutely. And I love seeing our partners and grantees step up to do that. And speaking of first responders, we have a beautiful partnership that we're going to announce soon with Ann Norton's Sculpture Garden for our healthcare workers, an opportunity for them to come and enjoy the garden for free and to say thank you for their tireless work right now. So we have amazing partners and grantees in the community that are doing this great work.
I can't imagine being a healthcare worker right now, because for us, and I know we do not have the same plight as anybody else, but in media, it feels like we've been in hurricane mode since March. So I can't imagine what it feels like to be a healthcare worker in a hurricane mode type situation for over 6 months. It has to just be mentally draining on them.
exhausting, and some of us might feel like we don't have time to self-care and think about how they feel. They have to get up every day and get back at it. So I am so proud to work at Palm Health Foundation and be a part of this group of folks who are doing things, offering things for free for the community to come and be a part of, so that we can de-stress and like I said, build resilience right now. We don't know how much longer this is going to be happening, so we have to come together and support each other and have those conversations and hopefully learn some things that we can incorporate into our daily lives to manage that stress and anxiety.
Yeah, I think, Vanessa, that's the crux of the problem. We don't know how much longer, and that's what's really messing with a lot of us. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it, your time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Slay Your Day can be found in the WPTV app on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV. Plus on the Taste and See South Florida Facebook page and the WPTV free mobile app. Okay.